My father left me at 8. My mother was a single mother in Colombia, so I'm like, who's going to pay my bills?
Your dad left you at 8?
Eight.
Have you guys had any contact since?
Somewhat, yeah. I'm trying to do. I have a lot of inner child healing now, so I'm doing a lot of that work now.
I truly believe the most successful people in the world, they all have ADHD.
100%.
They're all a little slightly fucked up, autistic.
The biggest sin in life is to neglect one's personality. And the biggest spiritual thing you could do is to know yourself.
If you're going to build a meaningful life and create massive impact in the world, you have to be willing to be disliked, misunderstood, even hated. You have really good posture, by the way. I feel like I'm slouching. You inspire me to
All right, bro.
If I learned this stuff when I was younger, maybe I wouldn't have had to go to Peru, the jungle, and sit with ayahuasca. You know what I'm saying? What is up, everybody? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready out here? Yes? Bring it up, bring it up. Guys, first of all, I want to acknowledge each one of you for coming tonight. It genuinely means the world. You know, I think right now the most important thing, especially for the Jewish community, and I know there's a couple non-Jews here, so also really appreciate you being here. I think the most important thing is continuing to cultivate conscious community and bridging this gap between Judaism and spirituality. And Gedale's obviously done a tremendous job of that. And I'm doing my best to show up in the most powerful way every day as well. So I just want to first off just express my gratitude to each one of you. Thank you so much. Let's have some fun tonight. Who traveled the furthest to be here?
Wow, Panama, very nice.
Where's Panama at?
Wow. There you go.
And you guys came here, for the record, you guys came here just for this
And Memorial
night.
Day weekend also.
No, Gedale.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
You guys literally came just for tonight, right?
And Memorial
Feed
Day
my
weekend.
ego, feed my ego.
They went for the Memorial Day package.
Please.
The Memorial Day package.
No,
Shavuot, all that.
they came just for us. Okay. Just for me, actually. You're just the cherry on
Jeremy, you have to learn how to not cut the bullshit. Okay.
Okay. So, guys, before we get started, actually, Eitan Yardeni, who's an amazing Kabbalah teacher, when I went to go interview him 6 weeks ago, and I'm very close friends with his daughter, we were about to start, and he's like, yo, let's not start. Let's set an intention for this podcast. How do we want to show up? What energy do we want to embody? And to be honest, it was an absolute game changer for me. He got me so connected to the present moment, and it shifted our entire energy for the conversation. And I think oftentimes we're lacking that intention. So I definitely want to set a collective intention. You know, the word for intention in Hebrew is kavanah, and it comes from the root word kivun, which is direction. So when we set that clear intention, God provides us the direction. So that's really what I want to focus on.
I think just them coming through here and dealing with the traffic, that's the desire itself.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
just being here is already the vessel.
So one of the most powerful ways to really connect to our intention is really through our breath. And again, the word for breath is neshima, and the word for soul is neshama, right? Essentially the same word. So the most powerful way to awaken our soul is through our breath, okay? So I'm just gonna guide us through a couple breaths before Gedale and I just drop in and get into a flow state. Now, just to be clear with the intention for the night, if you guys need to go to the bathroom, obviously just do that. If you wanna grab a drink or bite, just be as quiet as possible. And make sure your phones are on silent or airplane mode. And what else? We're gonna go for roughly, my intention was to go for 1 hour and 15 because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. And then open it up for a 30-minute Q&A. So we're probably gonna go a little past 9. Is that cool with everyone? Yeah? It's cool with you?
Is this a deposition or what?
I just want to like clearly communicate.
Let's go. Scorpios need to learn patience.
This is for you, bro. This is for you.
Breathe. Namaste.
All right. So we're just going to take a few breaths, guys, before we get started. So
You should know a breath also represents what you're breathing in. Like the fact that they're breathing in Torah is already a breath. That's already the oxygen.
facts.
Yeah. It's good. You loosen me up, which is good.
See? That's why we're friends.
Exactly.
All right. Let's sit up nice and tall. And again, I know there's a lot of people here, and a majority of you are women. And we're going to be talking about this tonight, but a lot of people seem to be so addicted to this idea of being in control all the time and letting go. So sometimes even just taking a couple breaths feels like such a challenge. So this is an opportunity to lean into the discomfort of, as Gedale always says, surrendering, letting go. In fact, we have some books for them too, right?
I think so, yeah. David has some. Sure.
The most well-behaved audience members will receive a book.
And
So I
a
think we only have
cookie.
50
And a cookie.
And a cookie with sprinkles. All right, guys. So let's sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes, and I just want you to think of a one-word intention for the evening. The first word that comes to mind, it might be peace, presence, connection, love. Good. Once you have that word, I want you to take a big sip of air like you're sipping air through a straw. Good. Hold it at the top, fully receive it. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, let it go. Good. Again, big inhale. Hold it at the top, fully receive. Now just think of one thing you're ready to release and let go of. Maybe it's a certain thought pattern, a habit, a belief that no longer aligns with your highest self. And on the count of 3, just going to release and let it go. 1, 2, 3. Good. Again, big sip of air. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Take another little sip. Good. Really visualize whatever that energy is that you want to release and let go of that no longer serves you. It could be a relationship that you want to let go of. We're going to wait till the count of 3 and then we're going to exhale. 1, 2, 3. Release it. Amazing, amazing. And now I just want you to take 2 more breaths. Just like you were, big sip of air. See if you can really get that full expansion with your lungs and rib cage. Good. Exhale, release it. Beautiful. Again, big sip of air. Hold it. And this time on the count of 3, we're going to flutter our lips just like we're the 7-year-old version of ourselves. 1, 2, 3. Amazing. Keep your eyes closed. Start rubbing your hands together. Rub them, rub them, rub them. Come on, come on. A little faster, a little faster. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Create a now just a couple inches of separation between your left and right hand. Good. Take a deep breath here. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Start turning your left hand towards your heart and just place it over your heart. And then slowly place your right hand over your left. Beautiful. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Amazing. Gedale,
Very
my
nice.
brother.
Beautiful.
My intention, bro, is just to connect with you, man. Have a fun conversation. Got so much love for you.
Thank you. Same here.
And
You're doing great work. Great work loosening people up.
I appreciate you, bro. I want to actually get started talking about something you said to me in the podcast we recorded like a year ago. You said sexual impurity equals financial poverty.
Right.
And when you said that, I was like, damn, that like exploded my mind. Can you dive a little deeper into that concept?
You're going NC-17 right away?
Right away, bro. Why short, man? I don't want to waste time. Let's go.
So just basically, the shefa comes, the closer you are to the creator, the closer you are to the shefa. So let's say, for example, if I have somebody taking responsibility, if I have somebody taking responsibility in my company, I'm going to give him shefa so he can, because he's going to do the right thing with the money. So the same thing in heaven, the male seed it's a place for potential. It's a place for children. So if that energy is not being used in an appropriate way in order to give, then all of a sudden you cut off the supply. You cut off the spiritual supply and the financial supply. The problem with an addiction, with the sexual addictions, is it leaves you with half the gap. So let's say you're not using that energy. And this is not my concept. This is Parshas Noach. The concept of Hamas. What is Hamas?
Hamas.
Like we hate Hamas, right? Hamas means violently taking something by force. Going to a relationship just to receive. You're just taking it for yourself. You're not looking to procreate. So what happens? God said, I'd rather destroy the world. The sin of in Parshas Noach was masturbation. Was
Really?
Yeah. Chapter 2.
How many thousand years ago? When's that from?
Chapter 2.
They're talking about masturbation?
Absolutely, yeah. That was the
Really?
sin. People used, it was all about selfishness.
Okay.
So and what happens? The seed became monsters. It became evil spirits. And God says, I'd rather destroy the world. He created the rainbow. It's funny how the rainbow becomes the tikkun for it. Now people use the rainbow some other way. But God used the rainbow to say, I'll never destroy the world again. I promise I'll never destroy the world. So when we look at a rainbow, we shouldn't say, oh, this is happy times, pride. This is like a reminder, I should have destroyed the world because of this sin. So anytime the masculine energy is not using, just the same thing as if you have somebody using money and he's destroying things with it, God would rather not give it to him, so it cuts off. So taking responsibility, this is why when you sign on the ketubah, you're saying, I'm taking responsibility to provide, to protect my wife, etc. That allows you to draw the shefa from above. So this is why wealth comes through the wife, because you're now taking responsibility. And then you get the bounce back effect of that. But if guys are just going to relationships just to receive, and their only intentions is physical, not to become the giver, then God cuts off the supply.
Do you think that's happening a lot?
Absolutely.
Right now?
And this is why the Gemara says, one who runs after harlot will lose his voice. He'll lose his ability to make money.
Okay. So
that's what happened to me at 21. So I said, well, I don't want to be poor. How do I fix this?
What was happening at 21?
At 21, I was running in South Beach, throwing parties, going on with all kinds of situations.
I kind of wish I was boys with that Gedale, though.
No, you don't want to. Very moody. He was very in receiving energy. My intentions were not to give, Kabbalah, nothing like that. I was in a very receiving energy. Get rich or die trying, Miami, typical what you see today out there. But today, unfortunately, there's 40, 50-year-old men doing this same thing. I did at 21. So it's this proving get rich or die trying concept. And that's where I fell into depression, gambling addictions, and everything. And when I found Rabbi Nachman's teachings, it talked about that energy becoming the most powerful energy in the world. That if you can control that energy, that's where wealth comes from. But if you don't control that energy, and if you don't go to relationships in order to get married, to connect, to grow, then it cuts off financially.
Okay, so you had a gambling addiction.
Sure.
Any other addictions?
That's it. That's enough.
Gambling.
Gambling.
That was like your vice.
That was enough.
Okay. Is that also what inspired you to open up an addiction clinic?
It just ended up happening.
Organically?
Yeah, organically.
Now, in the addiction clinic, what do you feel like is at the root cause of most people's addiction? Because they're coming in with all sorts of addiction,
low
drugs,
self-esteem.
substance abuse.
Low self-esteem.
Okay.
Everybody gets pain in life, but some people, they say they're worthless because of the pain. So pain either breaks you or makes you. So the root is low self-esteem at the end of the day. That is the root cause, because at the end of the day, if I love myself, I'll put an effort for myself.
Yeah.
I'll work on myself. I'll choose delayed gratification. If I don't love myself, I'll choose instant gratification at the price of crashing later.
There's something you feel too when you meet someone who genuinely loves themselves.
Right.
It's like you don't need external validation.
Yeah, not as a humble approach, meaning I'm worth the effort.
Yeah.
Therefore, I put boundaries. I'm worth the effort. Therefore, I'd rather choose not to date this person. I deserve better. That I'm worthy of it. Not like a narcissist thinking about themselves all the time. In a humble approach. Humble means I will, even if I have to fall 7 times to get up, I will get up the 8th time. I'm not going to give up on myself. When we lack self-esteem, we'll give up. We'll cry the victim. We'll give up easily, and we'll blame the world.
So the self-worth issues usually stem from our childhood. The first 7 years.
Sure.
I'm curious to know for you, did that show up in your childhood? Like, did you see anything lingering through the years that was stemming from that early childhood?
Yeah,
period?
the gambling addiction was I was trying to prove that money means net worth means self-worth. So that's my language. My father left me at 8. My mother was a single mother in Colombia. So I'm like, who's going to pay my bills? So I had to. I did it too quickly, too ambitious. That's the problem today when we have people that are too ambitious and they're not aligned. They end up crashing. So yes, you can have ambition without alignment. Today, where you see that today, where people are just way too ambitious, but they're not aligned. And that becomes, it's like you're going to eventually crash. Because even if you get to the goal, you're like, I did this for what?
There's a lot of that energy in Miami, I feel like.
You can figure it out yourself. Yeah. That's why any ambitious has to be connected to giving.
If you're open to sharing, I don't think I've ever asked you this, but your dad left you at 8.
Right, 8.
Have you guys had any contact since?
Somewhat, yeah. I'm trying to do. I have a lot of inner child healing now, so I'm doing a lot of that work now.
I'm curious to know how that experience with your own dad shaped the way that you father your own children. You have 4 kids, right?
4 kids, yeah. Yeah. Obviously, I try to be the best father I can possibly be with presence and everything. Sure.
Yeah. And that probably stems a lot because there's 2 paths you could have gone, right? It's like the child with an alcoholic father, the 2 twins.
Right.
One of the twins watches his dad and follows that same path, becomes an alcoholic, right? They ask him, why'd you do that? I was just watching my dad. I was just following his lead. But then the other one never touched alcohol, ever. And they asked him why. He's like, I watched my dad. I saw his behavior.
Exactly.
I saw how destructive it was. I didn't want to repeat that same pattern.
Correct.
So it seems like you took the latter approach.
Correct. Yeah, you either, when you see something like that, you this is not what I want or this is what I want. Exactly.
Do you feel like that was one of the bigger challenges that you've experienced?
I've had many challenges. Losing a son was the number one challenge.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that or no?
That was the biggest challenge of my life. Yeah.
And that happened.
Talking about surrendering 4 years ago. Yeah.
I remember also you mentioned that I think when we did that podcast, the first one, I was 33 and you were talking to me about how year 33 for you was just this tumultuous time where just so many shitty things were happening.
Not shitty, but like wake up or
tests,
sink or swim kind of concepts.
Can you just fill people in on that? Because I think it just provides context because people see you, right? And they're like, yo, Gedale is a fucking, like this dude is an absolute beast, right? He's got limitless energy. He looks good.
I think I just got a pimple. I'm just kidding.
He's crushing it. They got a peptide for that, by the way. He's crushing it in multiple areas of life, right? But I think it's important to like also talk about these different challenges and tests that you've overcome. And there's been a lot of them, man.
Yeah, and they don't stop. They have not stopped. No,
that's like the theme of your life, by the way.
Yes, they have not stopped. The theme of my life is I get tests. I'm just a vessel for the divine at this point. I don't take these tests too personally anymore. I get a test and I give you a lesson, and I feel like I have to go through a specific test. It's happened so many times, and that test will give me a lesson, and I'm just the spokesperson. It's just way out of my league to understand all these tests that I'm going through. But it seems to be the same thing. I pass the test, it becomes a lesson. People benefit from it. I get a couple weeks breaks, and then here we go again. Here's another one.
It's
so
crazy.
sometimes I'm like, I don't want this problem to be over so quick. It's not so bad because another one's gonna come.
Yeah.
It's some people are born into tohu souls that their life is always massively growing, but there's it's very fulfilling. But there's a lot of work, a lot of inner work, and a lot of pressure also.
I feel like that's my life too.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Yeah.
So I recently learned, correct me if I'm wrong, that the word for challenge or test in Hebrew is nisayon. Okay, and that comes from the root word nes.
Correct.
Which means miracle.
Right.
So it's literally communicating to us that our biggest challenge and test in this life is also the biggest miracle. It's also the biggest seed and opportunity for growth.
The problem is the solution. Exactly. That's always the go-to model I always go to. The problem is the solution. When things get very foggy in life, I realize the solution is the problem. Like if it wasn't for this problem, I would never get the solution.
What's an example of that?
An addiction is a spiritual awakening. A breakup of a relationship is a chance to heal your inner child. A business failure is to teach you you're not trusting in God and you're not a giver, to realign. Every test is like this. Every time you're getting upset, it's a chance for you to, every time you're getting upset, it's a chance for you to set up. It's setting you up to respond instead of reenact the same trauma over and over. The word upset and set up are the same words. So every single time you
in Hebrew,
in English, English, Hebrew, whatever you want.
Set
up, upset.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
What's that called? The palindrome? Is that called the palindrome?
It's set. The word set up and upset is the exact same words. So every time you get set up, you get upset. You're getting set up to respond. Responsibility to face this thing that you're not facing with responsibility, or to react the same trauma over and over. So and those words are all the same. It's crazy. It's the same word, anxiety, right? What's anxiety? What do I usually do when I have anxiety? I don't, but any exit, you're going to the quickest exit in life. Anxiety, any exit. Everybody's looking for the exit when they have anxiety. Anxiety means you're going to withdraw from the situation. And again, why do we have anxiety? Because we don't believe we can handle the challenges we're given.
Yeah.
So we have to turn that anxiety into excitement. We have to sit there and say, this is good. I'm excited about this situation. So it's not about getting rid of the energy, it's channeling in the right. But the anxiety is the problem, is the solution. Because anxiety is telling me I can't face this challenge.
Yes, bro.
So everything at the end of the day, God makes it where the situation and the problem and solution is right in front of your face. It's just we don't see it. Because that's why we need to pray. Because when we pray, we submit, He opens up our eyes, and you get the answer.
Yeah.
It's crazy
By the way,
stuff.
I'm having so much fun right now. Are you enjoying yourself?
Very much.
Dude, this is my first time ever drinking alcohol while podcasting. I just want to take a moment to express my gratitude. So thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to listen to this podcast. It genuinely means the world. And I'm doing everything in my power to bring you the best people, the best conversations, the best quality of production. And the one thing that I'm asking in return is for you to subscribe to the podcast. Whether you're listening on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, it makes a massive difference and it helps us impact more lives and reach more people. Word of mouth is my oxygen. So it would genuinely mean the world to subscribe, share the episode with a friend, and feel free to tag me on Instagram at Jeremy Awakens. Let me know what the biggest lesson you've learned from today's show is. And now let's get back to today's conversation.
Very much.
Dude, this is my first time ever drinking alcohol while podcasting. And I'm like fucking loving it. I'm loving the energy. I'm like, can someone give me another glass of white wine? Anyways,
Wine's supposed to either open up your consciousness, but if it's too much, it makes you angry.
no, I don't get angry.
Yeah.
No, I'm very chill.
That's good.
It's very interesting you say that though, because this is a big lesson I've learned actually through psychedelics, because people ask me all the time when I was microdosing consistently, and it helped me with my ADHD. Like from age 7 to 8, you know, all the teachers were telling my parents I needed to get on medication because I just couldn't sit still. I was always interrupting the teacher. And, you know, I was just wanting to have fun. You know, I don't think a 7-year-old is designed to sit in a classroom with fluorescent light blasting at them. And I don't think the solution is medication, right? It's like, okay, what is this kid passionate about?
Exactly.
How can we fuel this energy in a positive way? So for me, it's like the ADHD, the anxiety, the OCD as a Virgo that I experience, they're all signs. It's like, okay, how can I actually lean into this energy as an advantage? I truly believe the most successful people in the world, they all have ADHD.
100%.
They're all a little slightly fucked up, autistic.
I don't think it's
if you want to call it.
I just think it's
I'm definitely on the spectrum.
I think the problem is more the teacher trying to contain the light. You get me? That's what's effed up.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. The problem is that's why Rav Kook would be so controversial, because he says you have to treat each individual according to the individual soul's demand. One guy's going to want to learn Kabbalah. Another guy's going to learn Halacha. Every kid is going to learn something else. You put me in front of you put me in a desk for 4 hours and you put a book in front of me, I'm going to go out of my mind. You understand?
What type of student were you?
I was also like you. I couldn't handle limitations.
Did you ever?
And that's what, by the way, that's what addiction's about. Addiction's like people who are addicts, they can't handle limitations. They want more out of life. So that means they're very sensitive to stagnation in life. They want more out of life. When I say I want to get high in consciousness. It's a thirst for knowledge. So it's not to be redeemed. It's not to be lowered. It's to be channeled. You understand? So the teachers today, people who don't understand individual souls, don't put people in a box when they're not supposed to be in a box. You can't put a quarterback at the same place as a chess player. A quarterback's supposed to be a quarterback. A chess player is supposed to be a chess player. You get it? It doesn't mean one's better than the other. It means your job is to find the spark what you're connected to. Some people are connected to Breslov, some people are connected to Chabad, some people are connected to something else. It's not one of better. This is where your soul root is. So Rabbi Nachman came into this world and he says, your job is to search for what is connected to your soul.
Yeah.
You understand? So this is where comparison is really the worst thing possible, because everybody has it's a different mission, it's a different tikkun, it's a different things.
How do you apply that to the way you've raised your kids?
Like I love horse. I love to know everything about all my kids, to understand how to individually, deal with them. You know,
you've done like birth chart readings.
Birth chart, every possible. Yeah. Because you have to understand where they're coming from, what takes, what doesn't take, what style. Leos have to be in center stage, right? Virgos have to tell them how much you love them, how imperfection is perfection. So you have to individually. It's same thing with employees. You have to. Some employees are, you put them in certain departments because they're more, you're not going to put a salesman as a Capricorn. You're going to put a Capricorn as a manager. You get it? So you individually will able to root the energies on what's going to maximize that person's potential.
Has that been a key for you in terms of scaling business?
Anytime, more importantly, is reading people and optimizing their talents versus just sticking them in a random place. And obviously some people are not good at certain things and some people are not good at it. You want to optimize potential.
Like double down on your strengths.
The biggest sin in life is to neglect one's personality. And the biggest spiritual thing you could do is to know yourself. The biggest mitzvah you could do today is to know yourself. Because once you know yourself, you won't be affected by the people. But when you neglect yourself and you fall into the masses and you fall into this, you neglect yourself, and then you neglect your potential too.
I think one of the things that people appreciate about you and myself is our authenticity, just communicating in a very human way and not putting on a mask. And I was thinking about this. I was talking to friends 2 nights ago, and we were trying to, I was like thinking about reverse engineering this. Like, how does one become their most authentic self, right? And I feel like the biggest blockage is an obsession about the opinions of other people. It's like, if you're going to build a meaningful life and create massive impact in the world, you have to be willing to be disliked, misunderstood, even hated.
Sure.
And I've realized that on my journey. It's like, once you get past that hurdle of just being okay with that, then it's unlimited possibilities.
Right. I mean, funny how the word for enemies is the same word as if you take oyev and ohev. The enemies are your friends. Enemies are your friends at the end of the day, because they make you hone in. For example, you would see sports stars. They would go to, hostile environments, right? And that team would be so close, and they would play better because they're in Detroit or they're in a very hostile environment, right? The same thing is with the anti-Semitism. That should make you, the enemy should make you bigger friends. When the outside's yelling, you need to clarify the inside. You need to get stronger on the inside, not fold to the outside.
Yeah. I would say I've never really struggled with addiction in my life. But if I did have something close to that, like through my upbringing, it was an addiction to external validation. And
that's normal. It's a normal thing. We all go through, because remember, up to 20, we're supposed to build ourselves. So you want to build yourself up to 20. It's a normal mechanism to build the ego. And then after 20, you have to lose the ego.
Lose the ego, or
you have
just
to become
have
a beast.
A different relationship.
Your job is to become a beast and then tame the beast. You have to get to the place where you say, yeah, I am the you know what. And then you have to lose yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. And let the divine inside. So yeah, you do have certain areas of your life where you have to build the person. You have to build the person up. Our kids, we have to build them up, and then we have to tell them, okay, now lose yourself.
This is the mindset that I've been trying my best to live by, like the last 6 to 12 months, is this idea of I am nothing. I am literally just a speck in the world.
Get married. That will help you.
I am absolutely.
Your wife will tell you you're nothing. Don't worry.
I am absolutely.
Now you're ready to get married.
I'm meaningless, bro. Like, I am insignificant in the grand scheme of life, right? That perspective
don't say that.
Gives
don't
me
say
humility. No, listen.
Not self-centered. You shouldn't say I'm meaningless. I'm not. It's not about me.
Exactly.
That's the key.
So I've, through like Joe Dispenza and like psychedelics, I've gotten to a place where I literally felt like I was nothing. Like nothing in terms of I was just here, existing, but not from a perspective of like, I am Jeremy, I'm the shit, I'm so important. It's like, no, I'm actually just a very small part of this entire ecosystem called life, right? So I try to harmonize and balance this idea that I am nothing. I'm really not that important, bro, in the grand scheme of 8 billion people. But then I also have this perspective like, yo, I'm the shit, dude. Like, I'm like, literally God just put me here to shine and bring lots of light and impact to the world. Like, my life is so significant and I'm here to maximize every moment. So I really do my best to harmonize and balance these areas where it's like the humility of I am nothing. Like, dude, I'm just a guy that had the opportunity of being born a human being. Let me make the most of it. And then it's like, yo, I have one life. It's very finite. I want to make the most of every single minute. Like, I'm here to shine.
Right.
Like, how can I balance those energies? And I think that's helped me really maintain humility throughout my journey, because there's definitely moments where I was probably too attached to my ego. But in the spiritual community, they say, like, kill your ego. And I'm not a fan of that message, because I really think, similar to anxiety and ADHD, I'm not trying to kill those things. I'm actually trying to feel them fully and activate them in a way that serves me and serves humanity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so there's this is a Kabbalistic concept called yesh and ayin. Okay, yesh means self. Ayin means I'm nothing. We need a combination of both, okay? So you do need present. If you're too ayin, that means you disappear, you become a hippie and you hang out with hippies and hug trees, okay? That's too much ayin.
Yeah.
Too much yesh is too much self-centeredness. So you actually need both. You need yesh and you need ayin. What happens is there's a great book by Sarah Schneider. She wrote it's called The Kabbalah of Shame.
Okay.
Shame is built into our lives. The reason why we have to go through shame is in order, we'll do anything through some kind of pain, and the pain comes usually from failure, defect, or insult. Okay? If you look at, for example, how Trump why he decided to become a president, because he got embarrassed by Obama, right? And he
Is that why?
yeah, that was his triggering, where he said, the dinner, where he says, he made fun of Obama, that's Trump says, I'm going to run for president. So we all get, in life, we get triggered by, we will do anything in life to avoid shame. So that makes us super, 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 super motivated. It's built into creation.
Okay.
Built into creation. So what happens is in life is when you build up the ego too much yesh, you become a narcissist. When you become, that means you took it too much yesh, too much self. Or you could take the same thing and you could be too much ayin. That means you're nobody. You're a people pleaser, nobody. Get it? So somehow you have to fall in between a narcissist and a nobody, and somehow fall into. But anybody who's, for example, a narcissist, they came from some kind of a pain or some kind of defect, some kind of embarrassment, some kind of failure, and they built this too much themselves, and it become too much ayin. So in life, we need both. You need, and this is what the Gemara says, you have to believe, everybody has to believe that the whole world is created for you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not about you. So we need both of these energies, and just like the volume, you have to tweak. When there's too much self, humble up. When you're becoming a people pleaser and you're nobody, time to step up. Yeah. So in life, sometimes you have to step up. Because you're too much of a people pleaser. That's the Pisces energy, right?
I feel like you have.
So you need both. Kabbalah, I told you, Kabbalah is very simple. All we're doing is channeling the energies. It's too much of this, lower it. Too much of that, lower it. It's nothing more but synergy, teferet, harmony between the energies.
I feel like you have very good boundaries in your life.
Yes,
from what I've observed.
I try to.
Yeah.
I try to.
That's something I've realized is so important, man. Like, as there's more people trying to, I don't want to say like ask for things, but like absorb your energy. Let's say that.
Right.
It's so important to create boundaries.
Yeah, because otherwise you don't have space for anything.
And really understand, like, it's okay if I just respond to this person tomorrow, or like maybe don't even respond to them at all. It's like not me being an asshole. It's really me prioritizing my priorities.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think you do a great job of that. Going back to the ego thing, let's talk about Adam and Eve. All right? Because last time you mentioned Adam, numerically 45. Eve, numerically 19. You remove 19 from 45, you get 26.
Correct.
The numerical value of Hashem.
Correct.
And when you bring God back into the relationship, that's when you get full co-creation, right?
Right. Those Reb Nachman represents Adam and Eve not just as a physical people. It's two states of consciousness. Either you're controlling or you're humble. Adam represents humility, which represents Adam. Adam is 45. The numerical value of Adam is 45. 45 Kabbalistically is the name of Ma. What do I know about this? That's a surrender. When we say surrender, we're not giving up. We're not controlling. You understand? What do I know? Maybe this is the best situation for me. Ma hayena. Who am I? What do I know that this is not the best thing that's supposed to happen in my life?
Yeah.
How do I know? Ma, what do I know? So 45 represents the name of humility. Adam is just a concept of humility. Adama, Adam, the ground, earth. At the end of the day, you come from the earth and you're going to be buried in the earth. So the closer you stay to the earth, the safer you are. It's only when you make too much of self. Chava is the root of I will control, I will rule, I don't need God. So Reb Nachman speaks about these two states as two states of consciousness, and he says if your life is chaotic, it's because you're in Chava mode. You're controlling things. So control means chaos. Because what happens when you try to control? Things go completely out of your control. What happens if you align and you become humble? Things will be aligned with you. And it's almost like when you say, I threw out my arm, right? That means your arm is no longer connected to your body, right? You lose the life force. So any area where we try to have control, we lose the life force. You have a headache, you're trying to control things. You lose intelligence, you lose that. And that's what healing is. Healing is to have light. When you're sick, choleh, it means you're missing light. Why am I missing light? Because I want to control. Why do I want to control? Because I don't trust in God. Why don't I trust in God? Because I have fears.
That's some real
shit. So it's some real shit. For sure, it's a real shit. That's life. So anytime you see chaos in life, what should you do?
So
you should humble up. You should. Chaos means don't double up. Chaos means stop, realign, and humble up.
You have really good posture, by the way. I feel like I'm slouching. You inspire me to
All right, bro.
So I was mentioning this before we started recording. You talk about emunah all the time, faith and trust, right? And what you're talking about now seems like more bitachon. It's like unconditional certainty and trust in the Creator that everything that's happening in my life right now is happening for me, that everything that's happened in my past, the most painful moments and experiences have all facilitated the biggest growth in my life. And it's having that mindset of bitachon in the present moment. When shit is hitting the fan, it's like, okay, wait, let me pause, take a breath. How is this actually a gift? How is this contributing towards the next evolution of myself?
Right. This is more dat what I'm talking about. Dat is this is more of a dat conversation. Dat is consciousness. So I'm realizing I'm taking something and I'm channeling. Chokhmah is a light. Bina is integrating that light into consciousness.
Okay.
Our job is to focus on one thing. What consciousness are you in? If you're in a higher consciousness, you get mercy. According to your level of consciousness is the amount of mercy you get. If you're in a low consciousness, just like if a person is in a very low consciousness, and we have friends, for example, that they're complaining about, I can't get a job, or just complaining about everybody else. We can't enable them and tell them you're doing great.
Yeah.
You have to tell them, you have to build your dot. You're not looking at the right way. You have to change your strategy. You have to change the way you think. According to the level of dot is according to the level of mercy.
Okay. So
bitachon is faith is knowing. Bitachon is action. Bitachon
we talked
is
about
action,
that, by the way.
Action.
We talked about that on the phone today. So Gedale's podcast today, for anyone that heard it, was all about, using inspiration as a facilitation of action. Like, okay, I feel this inspirational energy. What am I going to do with it?
Right.
Am I just going to sit with it? Or am I actually going to do something about it? And then also talking about action creates more inspiration, because then we build momentum, then we build confidence, then we get these quick, healthy hits of dopamine. It's like, okay, wow, I was so scared to start learning about AI. I spent an hour watching YouTube videos on Claude. I actually am starting to get more interested in learning more. I did one thing, I took one action, and now that inspired me for more, right?
Right.
So I think that's what you're referring to. And by the way, you told me, and I messed this up, but you said to tell everyone before we started recording to not just be inspired by this conversation, but actually use it to take some sort of positive action in your life.
Transformation. What we want to focus always is on transformation. Inspiration comes from above.
Yeah.
Transformation comes from below. Right? You can be pregnant with an idea. You have to give birth to the idea. You have to give birth to that concept. You understand?
For the record, we only believe that women can get pregnant here.
Obviously.
Yeah. Just. I know it's a majority women here, so
Obviously.
don't want to.
By the way, pregnancy is not just that. Pregnancy means it's a conscious. I'm pregnant with an idea. That means that the idea is in potential. Just because you understand the concept of masculine doesn't mean you've nailed it. People, there's a bunch of Instagram guy, masculine. You understand? Doesn't mean they're fully transformed into masculine. Doesn't mean I want to be a man. Doesn't mean you're a man. You understand? Ideas come in first. An idea kabbalistically comes as a concept. And then we have to do is we have to bring that idea down into consciousness. The way you bring it down is by having a desire to fulfill that idea. If I want to be in a masculine energy, I have to first have the concept. The seed is that I want to be a masculine guy. I have to now pray for it and live it. Just understanding something, it doesn't mean it changes you. It changes you when you bring it down. And why is a pregnancy? Why pregnant? Why do we compare it to pregnancy? Because you need 70 contractions to give birth to a child. You need like 70 prayers to internalize an idea.
Wow.
That's why in the Brussels circles, it's as soon as you get an idea, right away, you got to put it to prayer. You got to put it to prayer. You got to put it to prayer. Otherwise, it's just in your head. I want to talk about having trust in God. You know what it is? Trust in God. That means I'm going to have wealth, success, insatiable confidence. You know what it is to have that? You think it's just going to come to you because you listen to a 15-minute class?
Yo,
no, that's an idea.
Are fire though, bro.
I know, but then you have to take the idea, and you have to now bring it down. You have to transform.
By the way,
that idea.
I heard you talk about this recently. I think too. New Year's, I think it was New Year's. Every month, I'm trying to add some level of spirituality and Judaism to my life. Right. So, like 4 or 5 months ago, I added Natilat Yadayim every morning, like washing my hands. I love it so much. Yeah. It's literally like the biggest non-negotiable for me in the morning. Like, I can't wait. That walk to the kitchen, like the cold water on my hands. Bro, it's the best.
I love it.
And that's literally like priming our body for action, right?
Right.
It's like returning our soul back to us, priming our body for action. If you guys haven't tried it, by the way, it's literally the most magical thing in the world. I love it.
Yeah. There's a lot of depthness to washing your hands.
Yeah.
Because your hands are the ones that are making the biggest messes in your life.
Actually, question for you, because literally no one's been able to answer this.
Right.
I've asked top rabbis, Kabbalists. I'm very curious if you can answer this. So in the morning, we do the hand washing. We alternate, right? 3 and 3. But on Shabbat, we do 3 on one and then 3 on the other.
That's for bread.
It's for bread.
That's every time you eat bread, you have to do 3 and 3. But in the mornings, you do 1 and 1.
Really?
Exactly, correct. One is to prepare the vessel for bread.
It's shocking how many rabbis don't know.
But remember, why? I'm sure they do. You asked it the wrong way. If I know it, they know it. Believe me. The reason, again, why is washing hands is so important? It's because when you don't washing your hands means water represents dot, consciousness. And what happens at night, when I go to sleep at night, I'm going to sleep with my problems. I'm not going to sleep I'm surrendering to all the worries I have. What do you think I wake up in the morning to those? How do you think you wake up in the morning? It's the first thing on your head. I got to do this. I got to worry about this. So when you wash your hands, you're giving yourself new consciousness. And also, the hands are the root of the control. When there's always the curse in life of otem yadayim. I made it with my hands. So we always wash our hands above our head in order to realize that you need faith. Faith, hands represent faith, above your head. Your head is intellect. You need faith above. So we want to set the intention that I'm powerless without you giving me the insight.
So after you wash, you're supposed to lift them up?
You should pay al netilat yadayim. You should put them above your head. Because
after you wash them?
Yeah, when Moshe's hands were up,
they
won the war. When Moshe's hands were down, they lost. The Amalek won. The hands, when a person's depressed, his hands are down. He's upset. He watches. He slouches over. So when your hands are up, you're showing that your faith goes beyond intellect. You get it? So it's a very Kabbalistic, a very deep concept
they
of
should
surrendering.
Teach this stuff, by the way.
Rabbi Natan, in Breslov teaches it.
This is my biggest pet peeve with Judaism, right? Is I feel like we do a very poor job of explaining these types of things. Like if I learned this stuff when I was younger, like maybe I wouldn't have had to go to Peru, the jungle, and sit with ayahuasca. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I would be like, oh shit, like I got all the answers here. Like
I love it.
Wow. Okay, I want to shift because
sometimes you have to go to these places to reconnect to who you are.
Oh, no regrets. Ayahuasca changed my life for sure. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
It's too fun.
Guys, we got Danielle in the frame.
There we go.
We're definitely not cutting this out, by the way. You beautiful goddess. All right. So I think we have, I want to say 35 people here watching live the podcast. I don't want to say anything inaccurate or misgender anyone, but it looks about 90% of them are women, right? Or identify as women. Is that accurate?
All right, sure.
There's only two genders, right? And I don't want to be controversial here on my own podcast.
We got it.
I don't want to trigger people.
This crowd is not a triggering crowd.
Okay.
Panama Safari, come on. Nobody's, yeah, there's no.
Okay. So we have a lot of women here. So I promised that we would talk a lot about masculine, feminine energy, right? We talked a lot about ego, a lot about control. How does that relate back to the feminine? This idea of like, I see it a lot with my friends where it's like a lot of them are addicted to being in control. They really struggle to let go. Right. And that's probably from some traumatic experience or an emotional wound from the past. So I want to know, number one, how can women maybe let go of some of that control? And as men, how can we show up in a better way too?
Right. I mean, it's a very loaded question. Okay, but just before, we should know what's going on in the world in general. Of why is there such a growth in women today, where you see women are more enlightened than men today? It's because the last step of Mashiach, the sun and the moon will be equal. So now men have to now support women's missions, where before men would used to control the woman and say, well, you're with me for the money. So if the man is insecure right now and the woman's stepping up, if the man doesn't have confidence, he's going to be scared by these women. And also you have a new society now that women would rather be single than meet losers and just be married to losers. Where the Gemara back then says that a woman wants to be married more than a guy does. So now it's a constant, like, if I'm not getting the person I want, I'm getting married to just any schmuck. So that's a very intimidating for guys. And so guys are thinking, well, women don't need me anymore. So either they step up or they start shrinking more. And a lot of them are shrinking. But this is the last step of Mashiach where they're both. And the goal of this last tikkun is everybody should be in love and you should choose the other partner. It shouldn't be, I'm with you because I have to be with you or I have to meet with that person.
Do you feel like a lot of relationships now are almost stemming from a place of fear? Like I'm getting to a certain point in my life or a certain age where I feel like my window is closing to meet my person, to have kids, and that's applying pressure and also creating misaligned relationships? I mean,
I think there's two types of people: healed and not healed. At the end of the day, I think the best things to do is go out with somebody who's got smacked in life and healed. I think that should be the question. Not if you're Sephardic, Ashkenazi, are you healed? Have you gone through? What have you gone through, and how did you deal with that? What you've gone through? Because otherwise, you will pay the price. You will pay the price for that person's healing. So that's very important today. I see this, I would say that's the number one category. How did you deal with your challenges? There's no question you're going to go through the challenges in life. How did you deal with them? And if they're not dealt with properly, that's what the tikkun today is, the tinok. The inner child is forming that.
Exactly.
Is forming pretty much, for example, if the father figure wasn't there, they become too masculine, right? And too masculine, if a woman's too masculine, a masculine guy cannot compete with her. He will not go out with her. He will go for a soft, feminine woman because he doesn't want to compete. It's a war already in the world outside today. It's a war in business. A guy cannot handle that double competition. So he will never go for a masculine woman. Just like a woman who's feminine will never go for a feminine guy. So what happens? The masculine woman ends up getting the feminine guy.
But that's
and
also,
then she gets exactly what she wants. A guy will listen to her, do everything, and then she's like, "Okay, this guy, I'm turned off." But this is what you wanted. And how did he attract her? Mommy issues. He was overly smothered. So he has mommy issues. He wants a girl to tell him what to do. And then, you don't understand? So this became like a trauma bond. It became a trauma bond.
The daddy issues and the mommy issues.
Correct.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
Because that's why, we shouldn't want to overmother. You shouldn't, as a mother, you shouldn't overmother your child because you're going to make him into a mama's boy. He's going to attract a masculine woman, and he's going to get physically abused or mentally abused. And then he's going to heal through the breakup. Everything, by the way, every healing comes through the breakup at the end of the day. So you have to understand, that's why it's very important that when you honor your father and mother, even though it's very difficult, and by the way, we chose them. At the end of the day, you have to realize that you have to heal your father and mother's relationship, and that's how you honor God. Even though the father and mother relationships, how can I forgive? But that's going to make you heal at the end of the day. And that's what I've seen the most.
There's a couple things.
Why are you so driven? Why are you so motivated? It's a problem to be too driven.
Right.
What do you need to prove to everybody? What do you need to control everything in life, etc.?
Yeah. So a couple things off that. Number one, our brain is wired for safety.
Yes.
So we're always going to return back to what feels more comfortable.
To the known.
So if you're a masculine woman, a feminine dude is going to be more comfortable because it keeps you in that state where like you're in control.
Absolutely.
Right? You're not being challenged.
Right.
And ultimately...
But you won't want to sleep with him.
Yeah, and that's what loses all the polarity in a relationship, right?
And you'll be burnt out with cortisol and whatever you thought the control was, you'll be exhausted and you're like, I can't do this anymore. And you won't be attracted to him. So you'll lose the passion. So unless you step out of that energy, a man's not going to step up.
Where does that kind of duality in terms of like a woman being able to kind of relax a little bit more and let go, and also the responsibility of the man to step up?
It starts with the relationship with God. For example, I said today that what's the biggest attraction when there's two, if the worst nightmare is for a masculine guy to have a masculine woman. What's the worst thing that Hashem has? There's a pasuk that says, I and an arrogant person cannot live together. So when you are trying to play God, your relationship with God, there's no relationship because He can't give to you, and you can't receive, and all of a sudden you're frustrated, you're depressed, you're anxious, and God's telling you just surrender, and I want to give you everything, but you're too controlling. So just like God, Hashem Himself, He doesn't want a competition. He wants you to compliment Him. He wants you to emulate Him.
There's something different too. We were talking.
You
we
get
started.
It?
Yeah.
So that relation, everything stems from the relationship with God. So let's say I have a problem with submitting to mitzvot. I have a problem with submitting to Shabbat. I have a problem submitting to God. I'm going to have also a problem submitting to God. You understand? If you have a problem with submission in heaven, you're going to have a problem submission to men too. You have a problem respecting men, you're going to have a problem respecting God too.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all connected. Everything is rooted in heaven. Heaven, below is a manifestation of heaven.
So, yeah, that's really powerful. I mean,
yeah.
I would say there's this moment. I met this girl like 6 months ago in Israel.
Sapir or another one?
No. God, bro, don't be mentioning names, bro. This shit's going to be seen by a lot of people, bro. Fuck it, dog. God damn.
David, edit. Change the name.
No, it's fine. So, anyways.
Were you triggered? What?
No, I'm good.
Do you know how many Sapirs there are out there? There's 100 Sapirs.
So many. Anyways. So what I was going to say is that there's this girl I met like maybe 7 months ago. And at the Kapinski Hotel in Tel Aviv.
Nice hotel.
And bro, it was the first time, genuinely, I think it was the first time that I recognized there's a group of us, but I was sitting next to her and talking to her. And after that, I was like reflecting. I was like, yo, that shit felt different. Like it was something was unique about what just took place. And it was the first time it hit me that it was probably not the first time, but the first time I really felt that I was connecting with a woman that had this insanely deep connection with God. And it was like, she had zero desire for any external validation or approval from other people. She was just she was illuminating like this radiant energy that was just so palpable. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think, and that's really honestly like the journey I'm on. I'm like, every day, how can I deepen
How
that
did it make
connection?
you feel? Make you feel safe?
Made me feel like I wanted to have her in my life in some capacity.
So it's
whether as a friend or
that was a glimpse of your relationship with God. She showed you what a relationship with you and God could look like.
yeah.
Everything at the end of the day, it's fixing the relationship between you and God, and then He fixes the relationship with you and people.
So
At the end of
Yeah.
the day, it goes back to you and your Father in heaven. That relationship pretty much mirrors the relationships below.
So right now we have, there's how many forms of giving are there? There's mainly like two, right? There's
Four.
the giving with the intention of receiving. Right.
Four forms.
4 forms of giving. One of the things that we spoke about, like the men are the sun. Our job is to bring light and give, right? And the women are the moon. They're here to receive.
But now they're going to be just like the sun now.
Okay, they're
So
even.
this is a new.
Beautiful.
They're going to be even.
Beautiful. Now, one of the most common messages I receive from dudes is whenever I talk about like instant gratification or porn or any of those things, there's a lot of dudes struggling with it, bro. A lot. I feel like it's probably one of the biggest addictions in our society that doesn't get talked about because there's a huge stigma around it. There's massive shame around it. I hope you're enjoying this unbelievable conversation with Nicole. And I just wanted to let you know that we just released our 28-day cycle guide. Now, I believe this is one of the most important issues for both men and women. So women can understand their biology better and build a deeper connection with themselves. And so men can show up for their woman in the most powerful way possible. And it really requires this next layer of knowledge. And my team and I created an incredibly in-depth 28-day cycle guide to really teach you the tools to navigate these different times of the month with your nutrition, with your fitness, with your emotions, etc. So if you want to get the guide, hit the link in the show notes right now. And I really hope that you take action on some of this information because I promise you, it will transform your life. This is your body. These are the relationships that matter most. So hit the link in the show notes. And now let's get back to the podcast. There's a huge stigma around it. There's massive shame around it. And I'm curious for you in your addiction center, right? Or just kind of working with friends or whoever it may be. What have you seen in terms of like, how can men overcome that? Because at the end of the day, it's an addiction to quick hits of dopamine, instant gratification, various different forms, right? How can we like really overcome that? I guess it's kind of it's building a closer connection to God.
I've done many classes on this, and you have to understand what is this addiction do to you. Number one, it makes you depressed. Okay. Number two, it takes away your soulmate. Number three, it makes you broke. Okay. Number four, you lose any form of spirituality. Because remember, why do you feel shame after watching that? It's because you didn't earn the light. So you have to the way to change something is instead of looking at something as pleasure, you have to look at it as pain. You get it? The way to really change a habit, right? For example, let's say you eat 5 donuts, okay?
5 donuts.
Before you go work out, right?
Okay.
And you look at that as pleasure. Somebody will look at that, they'll go to a buffet station and they'll eat the 5 donuts. You go to Vegas, you see these buffets. Oh, look at the pleasure. I look at that as a stomach ache, not working out, tired. I don't look at that as pleasure. But some other guy will look at that as pleasure. I will look at that as pain. So when you look at something, the way to change something is, for example, I remember one time in London, I went to this restaurant and I had food poisoning. I ate some kind of cold like meats. Like all of a sudden, I was so sick for 3 days that I couldn't look at the meat. I couldn't look at meat. I didn't eat meat for 6 years.
No way.
For 6 years from that traumatic experience.
You were vegan?
I was vegetarian, pescatarian,
Interesting, bro.
soybean and
You're probably
whatever.
less masculine too, because I feel like meat enhances your
Yeah,
masculinity.
but at that time, what I linked in my brain is this meat is going to make me nauseous. So what I look now, I eat steak, I eat everything now. But my brain back then saw this as pain. Now it sees this as pleasure. So when you start looking at to realize that this energy is going to chase away your wife, chase away your soulmate, it's going to make you rejected more. It's going to chase away money away from you, and you have to think: is this worth it? Whatever you're going to get for 5 minutes, is that worth being broke, not having a soulmate, being spiritual disconnected?
Yeah.
If you have any kind of self-esteem, you're like, let me choose a delayed gratification. So in Kabbalah, we speak about contractions expand the vessel. The more you contract something, the more you expand the vessel. The more you starve your distractions, the more you feed your future. So are you starving distractions or are you feeding the future? So every move, you can go into +1 or -5.
Yeah.
So every single time you say no, you're now feeding your future. You're bringing your soulmate closer to you. You're bringing opportunities closer to you. You're becoming like the creator. So you have to look at the same thing and say, this is not pleasure anymore. This is pain. This is pain. The same thing as going out too late at night. For people, you take a teenager, they'll go up 3 o'clock in the morning and they'll be like, yeah, me, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm a zombie the next day at work. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. It's not pleasure anymore. 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, after 11, it's now pain. So what we need to do is we need to change what we link pleasure to pain to. And then that creates long-lasting change.
Pleasure and pain.
Pleasure and pain. Because everybody has two desires: a desire to avoid pain or a desire to gain pleasure. But what is your pleasure? That's the key. We have different people have different pleasures. Some people, their pleasure is to be focused. My pleasure is to be focused, enlightened, and being in track where my goals. That's the biggest pleasure I can have. The other stuff, it actually takes away from play. It's actually taking away from my future. Writing a book, I needed to starve my distractions in order to write the book. But the pleasure of writing a book was much greater than any scrolling or, watching football games for 4 hours. That pleasure was much greater. So you always have to starve something to feed a pleasure. The question is, what energy are you in? Yeah. So the constriction is the key to the expansion.
This is when I love Gedale the most, by the way. When he just gets in this flow state. You guys feel it? Just in that
I like to bring
state?
it in a practical example so you guys understand that every single move, you're winning every single move. Every day you can win. It's not a miracle. We don't want to wait for miracles. We want to build momentum. In life, you want to build momentum. That's the key. People say, I need a miracle. No, you need to build momentum.
That's something I've been thinking about
You
a
build
lot,
momentum.
too.
You build momentum, you're in flow.
That's it.
Yeah. We don't want to wait for hurricane. We don't want to wait for, I need my soulmate tomorrow. No, you need to slowly become the one. So you attract the one.
Yeah.
Not, I need a home run. I need this. That's functioning from lack. That's functioning from scarcity. That's functioning from, and you'll never get it like that.
By the way, it's
Because you're too
interesting
desperate. You're only going to get it when you start getting into flow states.
It's interesting how some people say scarcity.
Yeah.
And others say, I say scarcity.
Scarcity.
Is it depending on like where you're from?
Could be.
Interesting.
Yeah. Scar cities.
Okay.
It's funny, scarcity.
This is something I was thinking about actually last night before our conversation today. I was like, life really comes down to what is our source of dopamine? Are we chasing quick hits of dopamine and quick hits of instant gratification in the form of like swiping right, social media, dating apps, Uber Eats, porn,
Uber Eats is
gambling?
Nothing wrong with it.
No, Uber Eats, there's some decent healthy options.
I've been surviving.
Or are we actually chasing healthy hits of dopamine?
Right.
The best way to actually have steady hits of dopamine is by just taking small action steps. That's why like even checklists, to-do lists, where it's like I have this sense of accomplishment and progression forward. So that's motivating me. And chemically in my brain, it's actually facilitating me forward.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Momentum.
Exactly. Yeah, because if you and remember the wrong types of dopamine doesn't give you the shot of dopamine. It actually gives you with double the debt.
Yeah.
So in order to fill a cocaine addiction, you now need to do double the cocaine. In order to fill the porn addiction, now you have to watch, some crazy other, it's not enough what you were watching. Now you need some European, Chinese, all kinds of crazy garbage. You get me? Now the sickness becomes triple. It's no longer...
On some real shit. The
heroin addiction now becomes, I need fentanyl, and I need Xanax, and I need this together. It's not enough. It's not even like, if you told me, okay, you're going to get satisfaction from the other side, you're going to get now double the infection. That's the whole point. You're going in a route of the opposite, which you're guaranteed to lose. So again, I think men are just not, they don't have enough self-esteem. There's no discipline. It's a lack of discipline. I don't get it. So you guys want to be broke? You want to be, this is what you want your life to look like? Getting rejected by girls and watching porn? This is what you want your life to be? You don't have kids, you want to procreate? So to that, it's I have to go Moroccan on people sometimes.
What does that mean?
And you have to tell them your whole life is on the line. You're 30, you're 40, you're 50, you're acting like the same guy going out. For me, it's pathetic. It's completely pathetic. People have to get their shit together.
Yeah. Gedale is always...
No, it's because it's
he's a good friend to have,
It's frustrating because the mitzvah of having kids is on you, not the woman.
Yeah.
It's on the guy. All the responsibility is on the guy. It's not on them. Correct. Exactly. That's
one of the other biggest issues that I feel.
Correct. It's nothing but it's just a vicious cycle of So again, if a guy's not willing to have, what do you feel when a guy is completely lets go of his body? How do you think about him?
Let's go of his body, yeah.
What would you think about him?
He just lacks self-respect and discipline.
So this is the same principle.
I'm actually curious to ask you, and I've said this before, and I got called a fat shamer. No, seriously, bro. I've been called all sorts of shit. So
go into the Ozempic business.
Yeah, right. GLP-1s are all the rage right now. No, but in all seriousness, like as someone who's created a lot of success in business and stuff, and across all areas of life, when you do see someone who is healthy and fit, are you more likely to want to do business with that person or want to have that person in your life? Because right away, I feel like it's communicating a certain level of commitment, consistency, discipline, self-respect, etc.
Depending on the situation. Yeah, depending on it could be what are you getting in shape for? It could be the wrong reason.
True.
Yeah, it's not always sometimes the right reason.
Yeah.
You're not going to do business with an OnlyFans girl because she's in shape.
No, I mean I'm not. By the way,
that doesn't mean doesn't always mean in shape.
You know what's crazy?
It could be for the wrong reason.
I mean that's like a deep rabbit hole. I don't think we should go down tonight.
It took 10 seconds to answer that question. We got a problem. We got a problem there.
No.
David, take that off the camera.
No, the reason I responded like that is because literally, like me and my boy, we're launching something like next. We
got to get you new
2
boys.
weeks.
I think we need new boys, man.
No. I'm very grateful. I have great
good.
friends. Like my relationships are absolutely incredible. No, but we were just fucking around with Claude, and we were like asking, okay, in 2026, how can we leverage you in the most powerful way to automate certain businesses? And literally like the first or second thing that it suggested was like running basically an agency for OnlyFans models where all of the content
Claude
is AI generated.
Claude said this?
I swear. Yeah.
Even Claude followed that.
Yeah. It was AI generated content.
Are you serious that Claude said this?
Yeah.
Maybe the Miami version.
It was my
of Claude.
friend's language model that he trained.
Okay, exactly. Okay, yeah, that's the Miami Claude.
Miami Claude.
My Claude would not say that.
Miami Claude is on a different level. Miami Claude's on a different level.
Your Miami Claude needs to go to the mikveh, my friend.
One of the things that I also think is a massive issue. I don't think I've heard you speak about this a lot, but I'm actually going to be launching something regarding this soon. Okay, and I'm the type of person. My dad was a neurologist, right? And he grew up and he was raised at the Western medicine model. For me, I saw it up close and personal. I was like, it's not for me.
Right.
I love my dad. He's helped a lot of people. How can we actually address the root cause? right? How can we see if it's a nutrient deficiency that's affecting your brain? How can we see if it's like childhood trauma? How can we get to the bottom of this so we can actually create long-term healing? That's the goal, right? And I look at relationships
You're
today.
going to put doctors out of business.
What's that?
Long-term healing.
That's why when I was like all in on my microdosing business, we got a lot of shit for it. We still have the chocolates, by the way, guys. Got you guys. Anyways, what I'm thinking a lot about is the root cause of a lot of dysfunction in relationships. And I actually think a lot of it is to do with a lack of awareness around our biology. Men have a 24-hour cycle. Our hormones are pretty much the exact same every single day. Women are synced up with the moon. They have a 28-day cycle, right? So they're fluctuating, whether it's luteal phase, follicular, menstruation, ovulation. Their hormones, emotions, energy is completely different, right? But most women don't even have that awareness. Most men definitely don't have that awareness. And it's like that creates a lot of separation, because if you don't understand your body, if I don't understand how to hold space for you on an emotional level, then it's tough to actually create true intimacy and connection. I'm not sure if that's something you've thought about.
It's called, I think, what's his name wrote a book on this? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. No, but the concept of a guy goes into a cave, a woman becomes a wave.
Right.
And there's just two different, and they give each other space, not judge. Doesn't mean they don't love you. And it doesn't mean when the guy's going to the cave that they don't love you. It's just, that's why mikvah is so important. The whole concept of separation is supposed to fix this issue.
Yeah.
When they separate, and you separate to reconnect when everything's reconnected.
What happens though, and we've talked, I know you talk a little bit about it, big pharma, right? Is like most women in America, at least, they're 14, 15, 16 years old, they're fed birth control. It completely messes up their hormones. They're not taught about their actual rhythm of their body. Women can only get pregnant 5 or 6 days out of the month. I think this is very important information.
Yeah, I don't know much about that. that stuff,
but
definitely not a specialist on it.
But it also is shifting their hormones. It shifts who they're attracted to. So that's something that I've seen like a lot of women kind of stepping into, is getting off of birth control, tracking their cycle, understanding their body better.
Yeah.
And men understanding that too, because it's completely different.
Reb Natan speaks about this. He speaks that all healing is when you go back to order, when you go back to the earth. For example, when people get healed, they usually tell you, I'm in a plant-based diet, natural. I mean, if it's more than 5 ingredients, there's too much chemicals in there, right?
Yeah.
Like I will choose protein bars with 4 ingredients, right? If there's already 35 ingredients, it's going to bloat your stomach, create. So the more you're connected to, there's 2 modes. There's man-made and God-made. The more you go into God-made, that's where the healing begins. The more you go into man-made, that's where the sickness begins.
It's like God made an avocado, but he didn't make a Twinkie.
And that's the same thing as why Eve, what did Eve have to do? Because she tried to separate from man, what did she have to do? She had to go to a mikvah. Why a mikvah? And then why can't I use a mikvah as a pool? Because a pool is man-made. It has to be rainwater. It has to be from God. It has to be from God. It has to be from the earth. All healing comes back when you go to the earth. When you go to things that are not influenced by man. So the more you use man, the more things become disorder. The more you go back to the earth, the more healing comes.
By the way, guys in the audience, are we enjoying this conversation? This is fire. Yo.
Baruch Hashem, we're trying to do a little bit of everything.
This is so good. All right, so I haven't looked at any of these. I wrote some really good stuff that we actually intuitively touched on without me looking at any of these.
But remember, in order to change any of these things, it requires a certain amount of time in prayer. That's the most important thing I could tell you guys. Whatever you want to change, you have to dedicate 20 minutes of prayer to it. I
actually have a question for you. So, okay. How many people in the room are single? Just so I have an idea. Okay.
Hashem should give you guys your soulmate.
Probably 60%. So I'm curious to know, and I don't want to define this by like certain rules, right? But I'm curious to know if you've seen, because I know you've also set a lot of people up. I've met some people and they're like,
I'm working on a lot of things. I'm working on a couple projects. To create more conscious communities, more setting.
Am I going to be a part of it?
Why not?
Let's go, baby. So
I think there's a cruise. There's a big cruise that they're doing, Steve Eisenberg, in January.
All right.
Either you get married or the Titanic, one of the two. It's either we jump off the ship or we're on the ship.
I have a question for you. Have you seen a pattern of success with relationships in terms of long-term fulfillment and sustaining, in terms of how long people wait to be intimate with one another?
Right. Again, this is a tough thing. Everybody's on their own level, but definitely hot starts have cold ends. That I guarantee you. That it's almost a guaranteed. Okay, hot starts have cold ends, guaranteed. Why? Adam and Eve, they had relations before Shabbat. They were supposed to have it after Shabbat. That's what caused the breaking of the vessel. Taking something before its time. You understand? When you're trying to get physical before it's time, without knowing each other, without really long term, that can cause unripe fruit. It can actually ruin the vessel. And actually, you could be all of a sudden confused by dopamine instead of love. So it could be infatuation, not love. So sometimes the physicality creates an infatuation, which is the same thing as a drug. Infatuation is not love. Infatuation is a short run. Love is a marathon.
Yo, that's a bar right there, bro.
Yeah, that's a baller. But again, it's up to the guy.
A bar.
Right. It's up
That's
to
a bar, like it was a good line you said.
I never heard that line.
I'm putting him on some game, guys.
He's giving game. So it's up to the guy to set the tone of the relationship.
Yeah.
If he tells the girl, listen, I don't get physical right away. I have to get to know you. I have to see if this is right away. She'll respect him 10 times more. But the minute he says, let's get physical, she loses, she lost her. So it could have been that they were meant for each other, but because he tried to grab it or he came to the relationship just to receive, he ruined the relationship. He ruined the whole relationship because he didn't lead. The man must lead the tone of the relationship with confidence, with strength. You can't have the girl lead. So if you're not leading, you're not gonna go down the aisle.
What's the difference between leading and controlling?
Leading means this is the future, this is the direction. First of all, I'm not going to date you if I'm not going to marry you. I'm not going to go just for dinner. You're already cut out if this person's not even an option for you. It's not something, then don't waste. There's a concept in life, you're not allowed to steal time. You're not allowed to steal somebody's time. You're not allowed to go to a dealership and rent a car and ask, you're not allowed to go to a realtor and say, you know what, I want to see this penthouse where you can't even afford a one bedroom. You're stealing their time. The Gemara says that's considered robbery. So when you're leading somebody on and you don't have the right intention, it's considered robbery. You're robbing their time. So what's going to happen? Somebody's going to rob your time in business. Measure for measure. That's why you can't do to others what you wouldn't have done to yourself. What do you think? What does one have to do with the other? It's very simple. You're robbing somebody's time.
Yeah. Gedale, bro. So I wrote these rapid fire questions for you.
I thought you already rapid. We had
No, we haven't done any of them yet.
What are we doing here?
Because I want to make sure we leave some time for Q&A.
Sure.
I think these are going to be fun. You ready?
Knock yourself out.
Now, the intention here is like straight channeling. You don't need to provide like a massive long explanation for these. So.
You want like a Russian answer? Yes or no?
Is that sure? A Sunny Isles answer. That's little Moscow right there. So, I'm curious to know, when was the last time you cried?
6 months ago. Rosh Hashanah. Next.
You got a little uncomfortable for that.
No, 6 months of Rosh Hashanah.
Okay.
But that was a cry for joy.
What is something that you believe now that you didn't believe 10 years ago?
Psychedelics, the healing possibility of psychedelics.
You can go in depth on
For
that.
some people that've tried everything and it's
Yeah.
not recreational, I have seen breakthroughs that I couldn't imagine. I've used it myself and I saw breakthroughs in some areas. Yeah. It's not. It's really not.
I had no idea.
But you must have the vessel for it.
Facts.
You have to have the vessel and the
Yeah.
intention. Otherwise, it backfires.
1,000%.
And you can't have mental health issues if you have them, if you use them.
What's one thing that you're still struggling with at this moment?
Always relationships is always a struggle for me.
Like friendships or
Usually relationships, some relationships, that area of marriage and area, that's always a struggle. Because that's where I've seen the most growth in. But that's always a struggle.
it's like the biggest mirror in life, right?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the biggest struggles. Everything else, I think I got it squared away.
Okay. I'm curious to know, what is the number one thing that's holding men back right now in 2026 from unleashing our full potential?
Direction and discipline. Freedom is discipline. Discipline is freedom. If you have discipline, you have everything. That's Gavura. That's a man. Lack of discipline, you lose everything. You lose everything.
I literally thought you said erection instead of
No,
direction.
no.
Did anyone else think that? Okay, sorry.
The same guy with the Claude OnlyFans.
Maybe it's my fucking language model. It's just
Okay,
skewed. We're working on it, guys. We're working on it. What's the biggest lie that society tells women?
You don't need men. You don't need a child. You don't need too much independence. That's the biggest lie.
I think this is the first time in U.S. history where there's more women over the age of 30 that are not childbearing.
I mean, and it's a mechanism where people say and it's the same trauma reaction that we all have to, whatever areas that we're not succeeding in life, we just say, I just want to work. I just want to work.
Yeah.
I just want to learn, right? Okay, you get a job. Okay, you want to just learn, right? It's an area where what happens in life is an area that we're not successful in. We just say, oh, we don't need it. Of course you need love. Of course you need this. You need everything. You can't say you don't need love. How could you not want a collection in life? I just want to work. You think making money is going to solve your problems? So it's the area of your life where I'm just going to focus on this. No. You have to reintegrate everything. We can't just focus on where we're getting trophies. We have to reintegrate the scars and make them into trophies. And that's the ego's mechanism of justifying. I just don't have to work on this. We shouldn't do that.
What's the biggest red flag in a man?
What's the biggest red flag in a man? Broken focus. Broken focus. When he's not focused, when he's not leading, he doesn't know where he wants to go. Misdirection.
We talked about that at the beginning.
Cheapness is also, I think, a red flag. Being cheap.
What does that represent?
Not relying on the creator, not charitable, making the girl pay half of the money.
So you're not a
Cheapness is
fan of
just-
splitting the bill on the first date? Fuck, I've
Don't
been
get me
messing
going.
around.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you're setting the tone for scarcity. God provides you as much as you provide for others. You got it? Just this thought process of splitting the bill is scary to me.
Guys in the front? It's okay. I'm glad y'all are laughing though.
You're asking a guy to split the girls to split the bill.
That's good medicine right there. Laughter. That's it.
Yeah,
We're
I
connecting
can't
to
believe
the
these
inner
questions are
child
even coming
energy.
up.
Gedalia, honestly,
guys need a real wake up call, man.
bro, I just want
Scary
to.
stuff.
I have no. Can someone tell me the time? By the way, I have no idea what it is.
8:53.
Okay, cool. I really just want to express my gratitude for
Always
you, man.
a pleasure, brother.
Yeah,
You make things happen, man,
yeah.
and you lighten up things, which is good.
Appreciate you, bro.
We need the lightening up.
It's been great to just connect with you, man, and
Absolutely.
build a friendship together. I got so much love for you.
Thank you.
Like
Same
so
here,
much
brother.
respect.
I
And
want to see you at your wedding.
yeah, you will.
We'll
bro.
have one big mushroom festival.
It's
huh?
gonna be, bro. It's gonna be a fire wedding. It's gonna be.
I'll take a mushroom at the wedding.
It's gonna happen.
We'll have to do it. I'm gonna start visualizing. We'll start visualizing it.
I'm actually.
We'll do it Peru,
this is actually-
Sapir, whatever.
This is actually something, and I want to give you the last word, but I think in the last year, I've felt this shift happening, right? Where, you know, maybe on like a Saturday or a Saturday night or whatever, maybe I'd feel a little FOMO. Like I'd see, oh, they're going there. Like I get invited somewhere, but I'm not really feeling it. I've realized in the last year, like I get way more FOMO of like when I see a dude like who looks like he's around my age, like with his wife, with his little kid at the beach, vibing, playing sports. I'm like, yo, that seems like I'm fucking missing out. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I felt that shift in the last year, good. 18 months. So I'm excited, man. I feel like the future has some great things to offer. Absolutely. Both of us. And is there anything that we didn't touch on I
think you pretty much hit everything. OnlyFans, this, you went pretty much. You went pretty much. You did pretty good.
You had fun?
I did. Lots of fun.
Amazing, y'all.
These are the same streets that I used to make a mess in. So now I'm giving a Torah class in it, which is good.
Baruch Hashem. Guys, that is a wrap.
Beautiful.
Jeremy Awakens podcast. Gedale Fenster.
Good stuff, brother.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you being on Shavuos from 1 to 4 in the morning.
I was studying with this man till 4 a.m.
1 to 4
I left at like 3:40 to be fair.
Okay.
But I took a half a gram of mushrooms. I have never, Gedalia's words, there were certain things that he would say, and I literally felt the vibration through my whole body. It was so intense.
It was a very powerful night.
And I literally took a microdose.
We had 220 people there.
It was insane.
And at 102, it was people, there was no room.
Yeah, I got there at 104 and I was like, oh shit.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the crowd at 1 o'clock in the morning in Miami. I couldn't believe it.
Bro, that's all you though, man. That's all you. That's honestly you just being a vessel for God. So I'm grateful for you, man.
All right, so we'll do some Q&A.
This was fire. Holy shit. I hope that like felt as good for you guys as it felt for me. That was amazing. That was so much fun.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
My man. Appreciate you, bro. We are going to open this up for Q&A. Just going to see if he answered right now. FaceTime to him.
Yeah.
I don't think he has reception right now.
All right, ready?
Anyways.
Try him because it's his birthday. That would be really fun.
Would have loved to have wished him a happy birthday. Anyways, guys, any questions? This is very cool, by the way, because a lot of times I host like big dinners, events. Gedale speaks in front of lots of people, and we're not really able to connect in a more intimate way. So I think this is really cool to do this. So any question that you have for myself, Gedale, let's do it.
Yes. I'm here up front. The front.
Up front.
When you ask a question, raise your hand. I'll hand you a microphone.
Sure.
You
should
first.
Yeah, let's do it.
Are you recording?
It's a question for both of you. So, of course, for Gedale that talks this topic so much, is like how to begin to search for your soulmate, or is your soulmate going to find you?
Okay. The first thing I would recommend is first you have to find yourself. You have to find yourself. Because if you don't find yourself, you're going to get into a relationship for the wrong reason. So the first thing I would do is I would find yourself. Become the one, then you find the one. How do you become the one? You make sure you're in your right energies. You clear out any trauma. You forgive your parents. You clear out all these issues. Because otherwise, you're going to get attachment styles. You have to make sure you clear all that stuff out. And also, what did you learn from each breakup? Each breakup, there's a concept, there's a pasuk that says, in my constriction, you've expanded me. We're all going to go through massive breakups. It's almost in the stars. Even if you did nothing wrong, you did it right, you could have done better, you're going to go through the pain regardless. The question is, what did you get out of the pain? Did you get an expansion of intellect after the breakup? Yes or no? Every time you expand, you're closer and closer to your soulmate. So it's really between you and God, honestly.
In the modern age of dating, I think it's really challenging for both men and women. But specifically for women, how do you approach it? Because there's social media, dating apps, You go to services, like what, I think there's so many distractions, and I think how do you become focused while still putting yourself out there and being intentional?
Right. Like you, if you were in Mea Sharm or Sfat, you wouldn't be asking this question, correct?
Right.
Right?
Oh, right.
Would you be asking this question?
If I was Sephardi?
No, if you were in Sfat, if you were in Israel,
Oh,
Sfat,
right, no, I wouldn't.
you wouldn't be asking the question,
Yeah.
right? Because what do they have there? There's clarity, there's less distraction. And the answer to your question is to the extent that you're more distracted, I would sometimes, I would get off of the dating apps and be by myself for 6 months and get, because what happens is if you're getting attractive women are getting much more hits than men, right? So it's like already you have 7 guys lining up to date you. Doesn't mean they're going to pay the bill or commit, but they want to date you. So you're thinking already, you're comparing yourself, how about, I have 7 more guys. Why would I commit to this guy? So I think you need a detox. And then after you detox, maybe hire a matchmaker. Yeah, there's
myself.
There's
Just kidding.
a few matchmakers, but I've seen that
We're
better.
starting a matchmaking company.
I've seen that better than the apps because you're getting eight people, 9 people compared to the guy who's 1. So one right away he gets 1, he's running to. You see what I'm saying? They're almost coming like a desperation, and you're coming like I have 10 guys waiting for me. Why would I date you? What do you have to offer? So you're almost judging and sizing them up, but it's all because of this problem. Detox, hire a matchmaker. Execute, and again, you have to understand. Again, everybody has different spiritual practices.
Yeah.
But guys that are a little bit more spiritual and a little bit more committed to they'll commit. Those guys are getting married, but the typical LA guy is in the same confusion as everybody else. So I would go a little bit more spiritual. I would consider picking up mitzvot. I would consider keeping Shabbat. I would consider keeping it because that means you can surrender. When you keep Shabbat and keep Nidah, it's telling you I can surrender. I respect. There's a higher authority. That means I will respect the man also. And that will make you much more, you won't have 100 hits, but you'll have the hits. Those are the ones that are going to commit. So if I was a girl in your shoes, that's what I would do.
Can I add one thing?
I hope you listen.
I hope so too.
I promise you, Shabbat, any guy who's they want a girl that can hold the house.
Right.
I'm telling you, that's an attraction. Can you hold the house? What kind of mother you're going to be? You get me? These are the things that guys that are masculine, they're looking for the softness and the power of the femininity. Nobody wants to compete.
I would add one thing, and that's like you asked about social media. I think it's very apparent when looking at anyone's social media. Not very apparent. Listen, but oftentimes very apparent. Right. If this person is healed or unhealed, and if they're chasing validation,
100%,
and it's just very easy to see it. Yeah. And the truth is, most attractive women, or any woman who's been validated for her beauty or looks, a lot of her self-worth is attached to that. Yeah. And she's going to
100%. Chase
for validation and approval and compliments and appreciation and all of those things online from complete strangers. And
very true.
In my opinion, it's like repellent. In my opinion, I think it's like
like guys hanging out with a bunch of women would be repellent.
Yeah.
Right. If you see a guy with his cars and that would be repellent also.
Yeah, we all have things that we're using to flex on other people, but it's usually just trying to hide insecurities.
I get tons of wedding invitations. I would tell you 9 out of 10 are people that are more spiritual. By hands.
How many of those 10 weddings do you go to on average?
Depending on the area. If it's in Florida, easier. But if it's in New York and all that, it's a different story.
Yeah. You're coming to mine, though.
Absolutely.
That's a 100% promise.
I'll make
you guys,
100%.
We have 35 witnesses, bro.
I will be happy to be there.
All right, cool.
I'll be happy.
We got that shit on camera, too? Cool.
I will be happy to be there.
Wait, so do you advise deleting your social media?
I would, just like anything, remember, what did we say? We need a constriction for an expansion. You need to constrict. If you're dating 7 guys who are not committing, you get it? You need to constrict. Constriction creates expansion. You don't need more. And again, if if, like Jeremy says, if there's this excessive bikini pictures on that's not helping you. It's hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really comes down to what we started off with intention.
You don't need to. It's not.
But like even this is something I kind of went through in my own journey. I was a personal trainer in Miami like 8 years ago, right? And like all of my self-worth was attached to my like fitness and physique. So if you looked at my social media, it was all like workout videos and pictures, like 6-pack and stuff. And then I went on my spiritual journey and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
That's just like such a small part of myself.
Because you're trying to steal energy.
Right. So then I was like not posting any of that stuff. Right. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, yo, it's taken so much consistency and work to like cultivate the vessel that I have, where like I don't have a problem posting shirtless things. It's not going to be like every post or anything, but it's like hopefully inspiring someone to take better care of their body. You know, it's something I'm very, it's very important to me. It's like a priority, right? So it's all
hand in hand, spirituality and your body.
Exactly.
The goof is a kli.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But don't do it to get married. Do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Don't do it for. Don't do it to get married. Do it for yourself. You and God. You and God. Then I don't see a problem.
Facts.
And again, it might be hard just to question this stuff, but I'm telling you, I know I have the statistics. If I had time and I wasn't running treatment centers and having a normal life, this is like 5% of my life. The podcast, 95% is running mental health facilities, kids, and all that stuff. I have so much data on thousands of people who's getting married, who's not getting married, what's causing, what's the breakthrough. I have tons of science on this. I just don't have the head to put it together. Yes, next question.
Hi. It's for you, Vidalia.
Yes.
My question is, in a relationship, how much, like you've mentioned before in podcasts that it has to be mashpia, like from a spiritual and religious perspective, how much would you say, let's say in a relationship where the woman might be more religious or grew up in a more religious background, how much could she bridge that gap, and how much of it could come across, like, what's the balance of acceptance? And like, does she need a level of a mashpia in the relationship long term for it to be sustainable?
Right. Sometimes depends on the tikkun. You understand? She has to hold her area together with the specific halachot. But sometimes the guys sometimes a person's sent to strengthen the guy, to create, and sometimes it's to learn from the guy. But most of the times I see the woman today in this generation to strengthen the guy, not to receive from the guy.
So it's like the sun, the moon is becoming like the sun. So in this capacity,
exactly,
like,
correct.
It could be translated.
You'll help him get the trophy instead of become the trophy wife. You get me? He needs the depending on the guy. I've seen friends that they needed a stronger wife, and they became stronger, I find that more common today. That the women are stronger than the men. Because remember, this new generation, she's going to be receiving from heaven. She's going to be already more intellectual. It's not going to be a time where she's going to have to learn from the guy. She's already getting the same lights as him. So for sure, the women are going to be stronger than the men. 100%. And you can see today, women are much smarter, more enlightened than men today in spirituality. Look at the ratio of people coming to classes versus not. You can see the numbers. So for sure now, I would say the woman has to be stronger than the guy.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
You said that in order to find your better half, one has to heal themselves first. You have to find yourself first, and then once you're healed and you feel whatever it is, that your self-esteem and whatever it is, then it will come to you, or it will be easier to find. I'm not asking a question, I just have a little bit of a thought. I feel that God created Adam, and then he created Chava because en lo tov liot Adam levado.
Correct.
It's not
good to be alone. Correct.
Correct. So in other words, I feel that you don't always have to be perfect and in that right space and get over all your traumas in order to be in a relationship, because sometimes with that relationship, you heal together, or you realize that person kind of feels that part of you, that either the loneliness or that feeling. Because I feel that a lot these days, people very much say, oh, like, find yourself, self-care, and, just you just need yourself. And I feel that there's a little bit of a fine line between being selfish and, and self-care. And sometimes it falls too much to the selfish, where nobody's going to come in if you keep thinking just about yourself and how I'm going to heal and put the boundaries and what's good for me.
Right.
So I do feel that yes, you should find yourself, but a lot of times there's so much trauma and so many things that you're just never going to heal. It could take a lifetime.
No, but it's an ongoing thing. But when it becomes, where there's a situation where you're so needy that no matter what the guy can do and that can make you happy, you're going to chase him away.
Right. So
that there has to be some kind of healing. I don't see good endings when there's unhealed trauma. When there's unhealed trauma,
but that's very different than being healed.
Nobody's 100%
than
healed.
healing.
But to a point where you're choosing the person, not I need you to make me happy. I'm choosing you to complement my life, not to heal my life.
But it's okay to need. I think we all need.
Okay, but then
I really do.
We need love. We all need love. Absolutely. We need partnership. But I can't be. What happens if the guy stops giving? Then you're screwed. If you go in there,
but then you're putting up a wall because you're always like not just being authentically you completely.
No, you need companionship. You need love, but it shouldn't be where it's a dependency.
You guys
and this is a Zohar says any love that comes as a dependent. And the tikkun, I had a class on this. It's called back-to-back relationships versus front relationships. You get it? And what happens is you're attracting, if you don't heal, you're attracting your subconscious needs on this guy. And what happens if he can't give it to you? Then you're stuck. I don't like going to a situation where you need somebody. You're choosing somebody.
What about accepting though? Because also we're partners in our tikkun.
Again, like I said, you can't. The healthier you are, the less likely you'll blame the person. The less likely you'll make him pay for your mistakes. You get it? I always said this. I would say this line, and I said it, and I cannot express to you this line. I was giving a class in New York, and they asked me in the Park Hotel, "Do you want a better view or more space?" I'm like, that's a Kabbalistic question. Most people, they want a better view. Miami, they want a better view. But what happens is that person doesn't give you space. Then you're stuck with a view and no space. 1 second. You're stuck with a view and no space. A view with no space is worthless because that means you're suffocating.
But then what about a space with no view? Then you're also suffocating because you have so much space that you know where to look.
At least space, that means the person trusts and they're healed. It's okay to need, but it's okay to have a desire to look, but you don't want to need. Neediness is not good. It's a lack. 5%. It should not be 95%.
I feel like she's also just saying like.
Well, explain to me what you need. Explain to me what needed. What.
I think it's okay for people to need each other. I think that's the beauty of this world. I think
connect, but let's use the word to choose each other. Let's change the word to choose each other.
Exchange of energy.
Yeah, let's choose each other. Isn't that more healthy? Imagine if I need my partner for my business.
But it feels good to be needed.
I know, but
regardless if you.
It feels good. The highest level is to be chosen. Needy is a lower level.
Okay, I hear that.
Needy, we should choose.
Once you don't need someone, then they're not.
Exactly.
Okay.
Correct. When you choose somebody, you're recommitting to the person. It's an unconditional love. Neediness means my love is conditioned. That's a scary problem. That's a scary problem, and you're putting yourself in a trap. And God forbid that person has abandonment issues. And what's going to happen? You're not going to have space. And even if you make them happy, you won't be able to. You'll be suffocated.
I hear that, but I just think in general that need and
choosing higher level.
They kind of go together because this whole life, our entire life here is.
You know what? It's the example. It's the example of loving Hashem or being religious for fear of Hashem. What would you rather prefer? Wouldn't you love Hashem? Do you think God? Don't you think God wants you to? I know, but don't you think God wants you to love Him?
I do, but He also wants us to fear.
But the fear is the lowest level. He wants. Once you love, you already have the fear. You don't. How many people are religious people walking around half dead? Okay, They have just a fear, and they have no energy. They're going through the motions. They're lifeless. People that love Hashem, what do they say? Sephardics love Hashem, so they're not so careful about the details.
Yeah.
Ashkenazim don't believe that God loves them, so they're careful about the details.
Hasidim, they do things from Simcha and it looks fast moving Bira.
Okay, but what would you prefer?
For sure, Ava.
You want you always just ask for it. You're entitled to be chosen.
May I interrupt for a second?
You're entitled, but by the way, sometimes that's a limited mindset. You should always
Danielle,
say,
that was
I
amazing.
want Danielle. You should say, by the way, Danielle's always have din in the name.
Thank you. I know.
Danielle's
Classic.
always have din.
But you know what? Only Hashem judges me. No one
I
else.
know, but it's every Danielle, Daniel. There's always it's your. By the way, it's your tikkun.
I love her so
It's your
much. She's
tikkun.
the best.
You should want to be chosen, not just needed.
What about that in your relationship you're going to have some situation that you will need to heal from?
Exactly.
Then with who you're gonna do that?
What do you mean by that?
As you said, always in life we need to heal ourselves, right?
Correct.
So
Always healing.
right now you're married and you have something in the relationship, it's between you to your husband, and then you have some crisis, okay? And
Yeah.
you need the person, like you need your husband to heal from thing in your life. So right now, who gonna be there to heal you from the
From him?
crisis you have with your husband?
Well, you have to. Well, if you're married, you want to heal it together. You want to work on it to go to a higher level. You need each other in order to understand each other to be able to get to that level. You can't do it on your own.
But our spouses are often the mirrors of what we need to heal. You understand? Your spouse will always be the mirror, so you have to have a healthy outlook and says, this person's the mirror in my face of what I need to heal. Yeah. Just ask for truth. God, I want to have unconditional love that I want to choose the person. That sounds much more refreshing. I want to serve God not because I'm Jewish, because I love God and I love Kabbalah, and I don't want to do this by force.
Facts.
I want to do this because I love to do it. I'm passionate about
That's
doing it.
my journey.
That one never goes away. But when you do it at a desire to receive, when you stop receiving, the shit hits the fan.
I didn't say that. I just said that it's not just if you're completely. My first initial thing was I don't think one has to be completely healed in order to be in a relationship. That's all. That's basically what I.
I hear you. No problem. God bless you, Danielle.
Thanks.
You should be healed.
Every day it's a day
too.
for healing any
Absolutely.
new thing that's coming.
But if the person's toxic and doesn't know how to handle it, they're going to blame you for everything. That's the whole thing.
Exactly.
That's the problem. The problem is if the person's doesn't have the good figure, you will pay the price in that healing. Why do I pay a manager more money than another manager? Because I'm going to pay for his mistakes. I'd rather pay higher, and he has experience. I'd rather pay higher and not learn from this guy's mistakes. If you don't learn from the mistakes, you're going to pay for it. Yes or no? Why is Tom Brady, why are coaches making $20 million and some coaches are making $5 million? Because they're not paying mistakes for those. So I'd rather pay higher and not have the mistakes, be the punching bag for somebody else's unmet trauma needs. And believe me, it happens.
I'm curious how you filter just in relationships generally, right?
Yeah.
Attention and intention, especially early on when you meet people and you might not generally know their intentions.
Right.
And additionally, I think women are very nurturing, right? We like to teach and feel and understand, but how do you balance being nurturing and teaching with actually receiving that nurturing and teaching back?
Right. The person has to have a healthy, be able to be teachable, humble. Yeah, you know what? We can learn together, but sometimes they'll convince us as criticism. You understand? So I think it's the way. I don't think it's good for the couple to teach each other. I think it has to come from an outside source, like a common person you guys work with. You get me? That's better, because once it's direct, it feels like a criticism. I would choose a third party. So who's going to be the third party to guide the relationship? I don't think it usually works well when it's each other telling each other.
I think people just need to really trust their intuition. Like, especially women, they have very high levels of intuition. Oftentimes you just ignore that shit. It's like,
Right.
really tune in. Like,
But the same thing, the intuition's one, and then the heart saying, I don't want to be alone. So there's two worlds,
Right.
always. always fighting with each other.
Yeah.
The best thing is our sages tell us you should pray for something for 40 days straight and you'll get an answer. I've seen that, and sometimes the girl found out her husband was cheating on him.
By the
Doesn't
way,
mean the
by the
answer
way,
is great.
I heard Gedale
But the
say
answer's
this.
the right way.
I heard you say this, bro. I don't know, maybe like 2 months ago, and started praying for something very unexpected.
Yeah.
Started praying for like a better relationship with my brother, and I think it was the third or fourth day. He shot me a message like right after I was done praying that fourth day.
Wow.
And I ended up seeing him like 2 days later.
That's
It's like, yo,
amazing.
this shit works.
Why?
I
Because
didn't even get through
praying
40.
is giving. When I'm praying for you, I'm giving you. I'm praying. They feel it.
It works though.
You know who says that? The Baal Sulam, which is the head of, started most of the Kabbalah from that you hear today.
Yeah.
He says, when you love somebody, they'll love you in return, but everybody else wants the other one to do it first. You get it? So when I pray for you, it means I love you. And you're going to feel the love, so you're going to reciprocate by sending me love back.
Yeah.
You see the difference between, they say 99% of people that pray, couples that pray together, stay together. Right? Because they're sending love to each other. They're sending love to each other. Yeah.
Troy, how are you?
How are you?
It was a great podcast.
Thank you so much.
My question is a scenario with a young married couple, young as in 21 married, and then over 10 years in the relationship, kids, but you realize you're in a trauma bond relationship. Masculine energy woman, feminine energy man. What can you do to heal? And if you can't or cannot, I would like to know.
Right. Sometimes you have to break the vessel and rebuild the vessel. Doesn't mean to break up. Let him step up and you step down. I hope it's not you, whatever.
Whoever the situation is, but can you just go a little bit deeper into that? How can a masculine energy woman let go? We were talking about
She has to start trusting the person. You get it? When you trust, you start. What did the Jews? What were the Egyptian women in Egypt? The men were broken. They were in their feminine. They were broken. They didn't want to continue. They were in the masculine. But what did they do? They lifted them up. They stepped down and they lifted them up. So sometimes you lift a woman, instead of breaking the guy, demasculating him, you lift him up. You could do this. I got you. At the same time, I'm not going to control you. I'm going to watch you fall. You're going to do it. You're going to fall on your head. But I'm going to watch you. I'm not going to criticize you. Of course. Exactly. When they want to make everything perfect, you're restricting him. Here you go. Fall, break your head, let him fall, let him break himself. Because if you don't let somebody do it for themselves and you're controlling him, he'll never do it. Because he's afraid to be wrong and he'll never do it again. It's just a vicious cycle. Control is a disaster in every shape or form. I promise you, I controlled this relationship so much, I fell in love. I controlled my relationship with God, I got healed. Everybody tells you the same thing. When I let go of control, my life changed. Everybody will tell you the same thing. When I didn't know what was going to happen, I was forced to rely on God, my life changed.
Yeah.
When I let go of what do you think an addiction is? Control the feeling. You get it?
Yeah.
Control means I don't trust. I don't trust means I will not grow.
Also, spending time in nature.
You got to.
Really is a feminine energy. You go in the ocean.
That's right.
Like,
yeah.
It blows my mind that people move to Miami and like they spend their life living in fucking Brickell. No offense to anyone who lives in Brickell, but it's like, why would you live in Miami and live in Brickell when you could live on the beach?
Right.
Like water, healing,
I like the
nature. It's like very obvious to me.
Any
Got to
more-
get out in nature.
Any more? Mia, you had a question? No. Okay. Yes. And by the way, questions themselves, if you understand what a question is fear. A question is doubt. What are we supposed to do when we have questions? We're supposed to get rid of the fear behind the question, then we have answers. Get it? So when you're asking a question about controlling a guy, you don't trust him. So if you started trusting him, you wouldn't have the question. You would know what to do. Yes or no? You understand? A question itself is telling you, I have a doubt. Our job is not to find answers. Our job is to get rid of the fear behind the questions. That's the key. Your job is not to cut off your friends, the wrong people in your life. Your job is to grow, and they'll cut off by themselves.
Yeah.
Make sense? Yes.
Yes. So, how can a woman that feels and acts from a masculine energy switch to a feminine energy when her context is she has to be a problem solver and assertive all the time? That would be my first question.
Right.
And I have a second one. So, you talked about education and educating children, sort of like individually, right? I work in adult education, and I do think that people have to be educated with an individual approach. But how do you do that as an educator when you have to follow a curriculum and you have to follow standardized testing? How can you do that?
Right. I feel like education today, they're training you to be employees. So I'm the wrong person for that answer. If you would have told me an educator, I couldn't. I would have to find my own path. So I don't know if I can answer that.
I'll just chime in and then I'll let you answer this first question. Listen, like I have this conversation with my dad all the time. And again, he was a brain doctor for like 41 years. And we talk about it all the time because like even with mushrooms, when I was starting to get into psychedelics, he was still practicing. And he was very...
You made a tikkun for it.
Yeah. He was very like, don't ask. He like didn't want... I wanted to talk to him about my experience and he was like... He wanted to kind of avoid it. And then as soon as he retired right before COVID, I was talking to him about like psychedelics and I understood he speaks science. So I'm like showing him research and studies from Johns Hopkins, Yale, College of London. And then he's like, oh shit, okay. There actually seems to be some science behind the neuroplasticity, the amygdala, all of these things, right? I talked to my dad about this because it's crazy. Like, even 3 years ago, and 3 years ago, I remember I asked my dad, like, he was always very closed off about finances. I was like, yo, dad, so like, how much money did you make? Come on, bro. Like, tell me, dude. Like, come on. Like, just be real with me, man, you know? And he shared with me, I was like, really? That's all you fucking made? Like, it's not a small amount by any means, but I'm like, we're from California, the taxes. I'm like, Dad, that's really not that much money considering you went to 7 years of school.
Right. They teach you how to be employees, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, and I told my dad, and I had like, it was the first year I made more than his most in his year. And I was like, yo, Pops, like, yo.
They want to control you. You have to be, they want, the curriculum's control. It's not, they're afraid of the independence.
Yeah, so I would, like, like, I would say, I mean, if you're able to, you got to fucking break free from the system. Like, I think anyone who's in traditional medical school right now,
100%.
Like, I just think it's a horrible decision to be hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, 7 years in school, learning extremely outdated information, and you're not actually equipped with the tools to help people heal. So
100%.
I think medical school is a waste of time and money. I think
unless you're going to become a doctor, and you
no, even if you become a doctor in Western medicine, I think it's a fucking waste of time and money.
No, they're just doctors doing pretty good.
You can also
I'll give you my payroll. There's doctors making a lot of money.
No, there are. There's doctors making a lot of money, but there's also a ceiling unless you have your own practice. I can be a content creator and study myself.
I think if you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer, you need to go to school for the connections and for because that's the vessel, for sure.
I mean, with what we could, and it's a deeper conversation. But
okay, next, what were you saying? So how do you?
And so my first question was about a woman that feels and acts from masculine energy most of the time because of her context. She wants to lean into the feminine energy. How you do that?
So first you have to understand, how did you get there?
Raised by a single mother.
Okay.
That's
right. The unstable environment, right? So you have to understand that where it came from. Where did it come from? Unstable environment, needing to protect yourself. But now you don't have to. That's the kid that drove you to success. You get it? Like Michael Jordan, right? He was driven by failure, so he became Michael Jordan. But did he have to be the worst teammate and be an a-hole to the whole team? No. So this got you here, but now you don't need that personality anymore. Now you can. Now the little girl could be nurtured. That's where the inner child healings, and you could step down, and then when you step down, you're healing the inner child. It's not just about men attracting men. It's about you saying it's okay. You don't have to control. You're okay. You're going to be safe, and that will attract you the right guy. Because in that energy, no guy, unless you're going to attract a guy with a wounded masculinity, he'll come and he'll need exactly what you need, the mommy. People go out with whatever's familiar. And you don't want that. I'm telling you, you don't want that. So it has to be healed through why am I here? Why am I acting like this? Why am I acting like this?
Yeah.
So the tikkun is in the tinok. You have to give the little child a hug and say, it's okay, you're safe, everything's gonna be okay, and get into your feminine energy of not needing to run anymore. Just pretend you're Maria from Colombia.
One of the things that I did for like...
Why are Spanish women particularly very into this feminine energy? Right? Because they were raised like that. They were raised warm. And why do they attract all these Israeli guys? You get me?
Ah, shit. That's
why?
true.
I'm being, since it's not on camera, but why? Why? What's about them? What's about them? They're warm, non-judgmental. They make them feel safe. You get me? Why can't you do that? You could do that also. Why fight when you don't need to? You're fighting a battle that doesn't exist. That doesn't need to exist. You get it? Because they're raised also. They were raised with a warm mother, etc. So you don't need to be that person anymore. It's so important, this. I'm telling you, that every time I see the same thing. You pay the price for what the mother or the father, you pay the price.
One of the things
you don't want to be in that energy. It's not attractive. It's not attractive. And
No, it's actually quite uncomfortable.
And you're going to be exhausted.
Right.
You're going to be exhausted.
Even though you bring that to consciousness already, and you pray about it, and you try to heal it, and
Correct.
You already know.
That's right. You already know something's off.
Right, but how can you start leaning into your family?
First you heal, you hug the inner child, and you say you're okay. The little girl inside of you that before this happens. That's why find the good inner child therapist, and go through that process. I'm going through that and it's healing, tremendously healing. So it doesn't mean you're not gonna lose control of your success. You're just not gonna. It's not gonna be forced. It's gonna be powerful. I know who I am. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. I'm in my own energy, and that's the healing that you want.
So
Thank you.
So listen, I think one of the things, actionable steps that I would take if you want to heal your inner child is, and I had this for about a year, is the background of my phone was like a 7-year-old picture of myself.
Wow.
So that way you're staring at that little girl every single day, multiple times. And then it's also connecting to your body, right? How do you connect to your body now? Are you dancing every day? Yeah.
Sure.
What's your favorite song to listen to?
Different things, but I love dancing and I love singing, but I haven't done it for so many years.
Exactly. So you need to activate the energy within yourself through your throat chakra, through movement. You need to practice embodiment, because we can that's the thing. I think the biggest disconnect is talking about it logically, trying to apply intellect. It's no, you actually need to remove all the intellect.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of your head.
100%.
Get into your body. Dance, play your favorite song, and just fucking vibe.
Correct.
Have some fun.
Correct.
That's what it's all about.
And you also have to think that you had to go on this journey because maybe you became successful because of that. It didn't serve you 100% bad either, did it? Right. So first you have to say, hey, it was survival. I succeeded. Now I can let it go.
Facts.
Yeah, you can't say also it was not meant to be. I'm upset that I was in this energy. No, it's how you became who you were.
Yeah, it served you in some way.
It served you tremendously.
Used it continually.
It served me, but I no longer need it.
Let's do one more question, guys, before we wrap this evening up. This has been so much fun.
Yes. Any more questions? Good. Holly, nice to see you. Holly's the number one acupuncturist, you should know. I know Holly for 20. How long, Holly?
Since we were teenagers.
15. She's the number one acupuncturist, and she'll help you with all the shit that you're going through. Okay, Holly, throw out the phone number.
What's that?
She has to you have one in Miami, and she used to come
Miami
to
Beach, so I'm not far. 41st Street and then East Fort Lauderdale.
She used to come to my recovery center and take care of all my patients, and give them acupuncture and massive healing. You should know that. Holly can help you with feminine energy. Holly, give him your phone number. She's excellent.
Everyone my number.
I'm serious.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
I want to just plug a couple of people before we end this too. Shout out to Nico. Are you here? My guy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yo, this studio's amazing.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Is Moshe still here? Moshe, my brother. Moshe basically started this studio.
Wow,
Moshe, do you
nice
want
to
to say a
meet
couple
you.
words? By the way, Moshe's, if you guys have seen our like big Shabbat dinners,
Wow.
they all happen at Moshe's house. Absolutely incredible guy. Actually, 11 children.
You too, and Ellie, by the way.
Say that again.
And Ellie out here as well.
Oh,
Wow.
yes. Let's go.
Guys, he has 11 kids.
No way.
11
No
kids.
twins.
Wow.
Baruch Hashem.
So, no, you were just talking about relationships, and so I'll just say, nothing in life is simple. Okay, I'm married 21 years, no ifs there.
Wow.
In the end, the highest level of anything, it's surrender and acceptance.
Amen.
You just have to go. Just this past couple of days, I'm probably going through one of the, and I'm so grateful for it, but one of the greatest challenges that I've probably ever gone through.
Wow.
But everything is leading me into this place, and never will end.
No.
That is exactly what life is, and the more you go inward, and you're honest with yourself, the better things will be.
Moshe, you're a Scorpio? You sound like a Scorpio, Moshe.
No, I'm actually, my birthday was 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Nice.
Scorpios always drama, chaos, ups and downs.
Moshe's one of
Beautiful,
the most
Moshe.
special guys.
Moshe, you
Love
did
you, bro.
it. I heard only good things, Moshe.
Thank you, Don.
God bless you,
Yeah,
brother.
you guys need to be boys. You guys, I'll connect you guys tomorrow.
You should know Moshe spends $20,000 on Shabbat dinners for singles. Okay?
The next one.
You guys should know that. This is Misura Nefesh.
We'll see if we're gonna do another one before summer. Probably not.
Well, we'll see, but I want to say something.
Yes, guys.
God
Yes,
bless
you
you.
will.
Yeah, now you can charge there.
God bless you guys.
But we're dealing with a major epidemic worldwide. Is the epidemic of loneliness.
Yeah.
People are not connecting. That's what it is. So hopefully people can be a little more vulnerable and
Yeah.
they can give a little more trust. We don't trust anybody anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And then,
Gotta break the walls. We gotta break the walls.
And that really starts with trusting ourselves.
Trusting God, trusting
Because
yourself.
our relationship with ourselves is just a reflection with every other relationship. So, Moshe, love you. Yafa, Ellie, love you guys. Oh, hey. Hiding back there, I see you.
Amazing.
Uh,
Beautiful journey.
Yeah. And by the way, if any of you guys want to come record at this studio, this is the only place I record. It's the best place, best team. Amazing aesthetics, as you can see. Yeah, you're glowing, bro. You're really glowing. Guys, this was absolutely incredible. Did y'all enjoy it? Yes. All right, amazing. I want to do a quick IG story. Can we like fill in these seats? Sorry, it's my Virgo, you know? I want to like make sure there's people there. It looks weird if there's like...
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's perfect how it is. Love you, bro. That was amazing.